Hey, everybody. Welcome to Thought and Perspective. I am Matt Logan. We have a heck of a show. We can't swear, right? Or we're not going to try not to.
No.
Heck, that's not. We have a room full of people. We have rappers here. It's going to be an incredible live event. I mean, it's an event at this point. I mean, it's more than a podcast.
I agree.
We have some people who are going to share some personal stories on mental health. Completely incredible. I can't wait. And look at me. I got my volume turned up for the rappers for later, but then I just screwed up the live again, right? So let's run around the room who's at the table. We're going to introduce, but I guess keep it 10, 15 seconds, and that way we can roll on. We're going to go to my right first.
All right. So how are everybody doing? My name is Nock. I'm the owner of GPE Productions here in Rochester, Minnesota. And I'm happy to be here.
Excellent.
Yo, how's everybody doing? My name's Aikong. So I'm the founder of the Project Hope movement. And so we serve the homeless, the poor, and also partner with people to serve in those areas.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, friends. I'm Allison Loftus. I'm the owner of Flourish Counseling Center. I'm also one of the counselors there, and we focus on women's mental health.
Well, hello, I'm Andrea Thomas, and I work as a mental health therapist at Peaks of Hope Counseling here in Rochester.
And we are going to be taking comments and stuff today, too. If you have some mental health questions, obviously, we have a couple of incredible professionals, right? Say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So we appreciate that. Yes. I'm a professional mess up, so we'll try not to make it all about me, but yeah, looking forward to it. Should we get into a rap right away?
Let's do it, man. I am, part of the Project Hope movement myself. I've done a lot of events with them, and usually I do a little something, but today I brought along two of my up and coming artists that's out of Rochester, Minnesota. I have Don and also Jayden. So I'm gonna let Don introduce himself and come on in and do what he needs to do.
Are you okay? So
I'm gonna get up out of here and then.
Perfect. Yeah. Like I said, we have a room full of people, so we're gonna have fun today.
Right. Yeah. So he's gonna pop in and I'm gonna.
Yeah. All right. So I just want to clarify we're on this track then.
Salutations.
Yeah.
I brought my thesaurus with me today.
Oh, man, you can pronounce that word. I can't. Thesaurus.
It's okay.
It's tough.
Yeah, well, diction,
Yeah, did you drop
No, I don't need
you get
that.
we good? We good?
Yeah, that's not necessary to do.
You tell me when you're ready for the music because we gotta
Do you
get
want to
this
take
up.
your mask off while
yeah,
we
I
do that?
would love to.
Yeah, do it.
Oxygen.
Yeah.
I forgot what that was. This song means a lot to me. Running up a check, I gotta pick my feet up. Yeah, I earned my stripes to kick it, no Adidas. I used to be a lame and I'm not ashamed. I tried to follow till I realized I'm the leader. Demons in and down the ride. If you ever took that trip, you know it's suicide. Lord, I got pride, but I ain't ashamed. Learned a couple dirty cheats, but that don't change the game. And so I walk with pain. Yeah, it's a journey. Keep a couple faces. Gotta know when you mature, you go through different phases. There's some things that might slow up, I swear it comes with aging. But I'm running up a check, I gotta pick my feet up. Yeah, I earned my stripes to kick it, no Adidas. I used to be a lame and I'm not ashamed. I tried to follow till I realized I'm the leader. So I had to pass them though. Hey, so I had to pass them though. Cause they know, like I know. Used to catch me faded on the daily. Steady blocking out my thoughts, I wondered who gon' save me. All the love that they forgot, I used to let it faze me. It was driving me insane, they had to medicate me. Yeah, things got shady, I can never look back. Cause you choose the ones you love, I know that's always a fact. My approach was always hugs and then they reached for my back. I'm just speaking on my past and I could never look back. So just be cautious and you'll never fold up. Even if they light your fuse, I bet you'll never blow up. For our souls we have to choose, them demons won't control us. Cause you got nothing to lose, you know your spirit is tough. So in God we trust. Running up a check, gotta pick my feet up. Yeah, I earned my stripes to kick it, no Adidas. I used to be a lame and I'm not ashamed. I tried to follow till I realized I'm the leader. So I had to pass them though. Hey, so I had to pass them though. Cause they know, like I know. Hey, hey. Yeah, I did that.
Hmm.
Thank
All
you,
right.
everyone. Oh my God, I got
Yeah.
claps. I don't suck. Cool.
Well, we
job.
give you a standing ovation, but we can't rock the table.
Yeah.
We've got more rappers coming up in a bit too, but let's get into some of these things. Aikong, you want to kind of start us off here? What's on your mind, man?
Yeah, so the whole reason for this podcast was that just through my experiences of serving the homeless and the poor, and even people that are friends, I think in the pandemic, we see kind of a sharp decline in mental health. And so I just felt like that, bringing on Allison and Andrea would be amazing to really help provide just wisdom and also application for people that are struggling in this pandemic. So it could be your mom, dad, brothers, sisters, friends, acquaintances, coworkers. So there's a lot of it that's going on right now. And so I just felt like this would be a good time to really talk about it and get into it. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think that one of the things for me, the pandemic showed us that we can't focus on just one thing because there's so many aspects of life. And when you focus on one thing, other things creep in and creep up. And mental health, I feel like, also has been neglected for a very long time. And the therapists maybe agree or disagree. I think it's been going on for years, and I think this pandemic brought in a focus on really how bad it was.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, throughout history, when we look at national disasters, there's definitely an increase in anxiety and depression amongst individuals. And according to the CDC, 1 in 5 adults will, in a sense, experience or know someone, in a sense, who is experiencing anxiety or depression or any mental health concerns. And the interesting thing to think of is the fact that we always think 1 in 5, right? I'm one of the 4. But what we don't understand is that all of us at some point in our life experiences a crisis in mental health. There's not a single person in this room, probably at some point in your life, that you have not known someone or you yourself been affected by anxiety, depression, or one of the mental health diagnoses. Everyone, it's every human being. The 1 in 5 is just who's having the hardest time in that moment. I don't think there's a human being in this world that has not, in fact, experienced mental health because it's a part of being human.
I definitely agree with that. I think what I see that's been helpful is that we're talking about mental health more in the last year than I think we have in really ever, probably. And so more people are feeling okay to ask for help, which that necessarily is not the case. And oftentimes when I have people come to my office, the first thing most people say is, I really wanted to do this for a long time.
Yeah.
I should have come in, months ago or years ago sometimes. And I think that even now, as people are coming in more often these days, which I'm sure Allison can probably agree with, our phones are off the hook. And that's great. That's a good thing to have because people are asking for help. But the level of, the needs out there is just really high. And so keep asking for what you need, and hopefully you'll be able to get connected.
I was thinking as you were saying that, we have two people that are also going to share, what's been going on in their life. I think that's important too, isn't
Yes.
it? That when you get to a place of being ready and willing and able to share, I think that we should do that. That should be on the list, shouldn't it? That
Yes.
once we get to a stable place, that not only to go to a therapist and really unload what's happening, but also to share with others kind of what we went through.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that years ago when I worked with NAMI Southeast Minnesota, that's the National Alliance of Mental Illness, I learned at that point, I mean, I was very early in dealing with my own mental health illness and kind of working through it myself. And their whole purpose is peer healing and talking and sharing stories. And if you think about any time you've been most impacted in your life on any topic, it's probably because someone shared their story.
Yes.
And when someone shares their story, it's powerful. Whether you can relate exactly to it or just little bits of it, that's where the power comes from. And the healing journey for someone with mental illness, sharing is a big part of that because there's so much stigma. And most people hold on to that for a really long time before they talk about it. It is very freeing.
Nice.
Well,
Wow.
I would say, would you say it would be a good thing to just like, if you know someone that's struggling to, to make sure that you're that ear for them to, just let them kind of just unload all of their feelings and things like that. Or, of course, just be a safety net for them to where they can unload their feelings in a judge-free kind of zone. Yeah.
We went from a rap to getting this heavy already.
We didn't come to mess around.
Yeah.
Right.
We made it to 2021, man. It's a lot going on. So
That's right.
Did you see the April Fools yesterday that they said April Fools never actually ended from last year?
Right.
that's a good
Going
one.
around.
That-
Word.
So yeah.
Oh man.
yeah, that's a good one there.
April 1st, 2020 never ended. Yeah, we stuck in like Groundhog's Day, right? Just kept going and going.
I agree.
Hey, but I'm surrounded by people who are being shiny. Allison made a comment about my shiny shirt. And what that is you guys are being strong.
Yeah.
You guys are being hope. You guys are being influential. You guys are clearly being necessary to the society that we live in. And you guys are being you. You're each taking your talents and doing what you can to help the community. And that's incredible. That's what shiny stands for. It stands for strong, hope, influential, necessary you. And I often say I'm a corny grandfather. I have two grandkids, and so I can be that way.
Yeah.
So I can have corny acronyms like that. So I appreciate that you guys are doing that. I get a lot of questions on my shiny shirt because it's unique like
I
me.
love
So hey, do we want to do another rap? I'm kind of excited.
You ready
Yeah.
to go right in?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm loving that. Yeah.
Well,
Should we do that?
Well, let's invite
Jayden?
the newest member to GP Productions. His name is Jayden.
So Jayden's getting in here too.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right. I love it.
He's gonna do.
So-
he doesn't need the music though.
Oh, good. Nice. Yeah.
Acapella.
Yeah. Perfect. Let's absolutely.
And-
We got
and it-
3 raps today.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
And if you don't mind, I just want him to share a little bit about his life and his
Yeah,
journey a
please.
little bit before he.
Yeah. He's got to duck out of here, I suppose.
Yep.
All right, well, I'm Jayden, and that's my actual name, so I made up my rap name because that's who I am. So I don't want to, make any other names and change who I am. But I've suffered most of my childhood with depression and anxiety, and I've been through a lot of accidents that have messed with my head and the way I see things. And I can't remember exactly when I first started dealing with depression, but I wasn't even in double-digit years. So, I kind of caught on to everything early, and it helped me learn a lot. And I saw things differently, like literally everything. So I had to just deal with what I was going through. I suffered from it, not necessarily alone, but I felt like I was alone. I did have people supporting me, but at the same time, I felt like there was always a lack of love. And I lacked on loving myself too. But just recently, ever since I found music, it kind of saved my life, helps me cope with my depression, anxiety, everything, my thoughts, everything. So, that's where, why I'm here today. trying to just make a future for myself. I'm only 20. You know, I've been dealing with depression for over 10 years. And, you know, I'm still young. I was really, really young when I first started dealing with it. But yeah, so music just helps me cope with it and expresses who I am and, you know, spread it worldwide so other people can hear it so they know they're not alone and so they can do what they want to do. Because I didn't think I could do anything. I was a basketball player at first. And I went through a lot of injuries, which brought on a lot of depression too, because it crushed my dreams to go into the NBA. You know, I wanted to play college ball, everything. Like I was really big with basketball. But I'm here with music, so this is who I am.
That's awesome. Thank you.
All right, and what I wrote for today is a cappella, but it's just about everything, you know, just letting people know they're not alone. And if no one's there for you, even though you don't know me, I'm there. It went like, wake up every day, you dealing with that depression. You struggle to ask for help. You struggle to send a message, but you showing all the signs. No one ever gets the message. I suffer from it too, so I barely get the rest in. Heavyweight stress, feel like I've been bench pressing a lot. Not for real. Don't know if you're worth it, something that you can't fulfill. Looking for love that's real, but was always lacked. I love every single one of you. Let's make an impact. Hard when you got disorders and you can't even eat, or when you stuck up in your head and also struggle to sleep. Let me help ease the pain and give out a helping hand. When others say that you couldn't, I believe that you can. You're perfect just how you are, and I try to love who I am. I know it's hard, but just believe in yourself. And once you love who you are, you won't need nobody's help. But you're also bipolar, yet you try to do well, start to get lost in it all with nobody to tell. That PTSD will really mess with your head. Try to stop thinking, but it lingers instead. I'm happy that you're alive, don't need nobody else dead. I hope you learn how to cope with it so you can get ahead. If you feel all alone, I will always be there. Don't gotta know you to say it, I'm just a youngin' who cares.
Yeah.
Woo!
Right.
Just really want people to know you're not alone, because I felt alone, you know, most of my life. But now I know I'm not. And, you know, I just want to let others know that I'm there and you do have people there. Even though there's a lack of love, you got to learn to love yourself too. And then that lack of love will go away. Yeah.
Amen.
That's everything.
That's great, man.
When
Thank
did-
you.
When did you know that you belonged?
Oh, that's a good question.
Honestly, I thought I belonged when I first found basketball, because I've been playing basketball
Yeah.
since I was like 3. You know, the mini adjustable rims that for kids, I'd be out on my porch for like hours, just repeatedly shooting it back and forth. And, you know, I just always had a dream of playing basketball. I felt like I belonged, but then as injuries came into the picture, I started losing hope on that
Yeah.
and started feeling like, you know, I lost my purpose now. Like I can't even hoop to my full potential anymore. I'm not going to get where I want to be. Just like a year and a half ago is when I found music and started to take it serious. Through my childhood, I've always written like, you know, certain verses,
Yeah.
but just for fun, you know, never thought of ever taking it serious. So I'd say I really started to feel like I belong about a year and a half, 2 years ago when I first found music. And ever since then, I know this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, not only for myself, but to help everyone else around the world.
That's
awesome.
so great.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
You have a
and-
great message, and you know what? People are gonna listen to it.
I hope they do.
They will.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. That
Yeah.
means a lot.
Yeah.
I put a lot of work into my music. I try to write multiple songs every single day. Like I'll be up late writing music just about all types of stuff, mental health, who I am, just certain problems in the world. I try to make all types of music, become really versatile with it. So everyone can just not just know my story, but help reveal their own story and create their own future.
And I think Jayden too. I think you know, that message has such a deep personal root with a lot of people.
Yes.
You know, and it's not just you. I feel like a lot of people do really, when they hear that, they feel a connection with you.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
which is
not-
amazing.
Feel
Yeah.
so not alone.
Yeah,
Like
and
you know, other people are going through it. I'm not alone. I can do
Yeah.
it, you know?
and I think that I mean, like I know that I struggled with that through growing up,
Yeah.
and I know when someone actually first shared about faith, about God and Jesus, and that really helped me, through the process.
Mhm.
And so I think that's it's amazing, bro.
Yeah,
Keep it
when you
up.
know other people aren't the only, like when you know other people are going through it too, it's like, not to connect with them, but just like, like I said, to not feel so alone. You're not the only one going through something. Like
Amen.
you guys were saying earlier, everyone goes through it, just
Yes.
not as bad as other people, certain people do that have it in a
Yeah.
major way. But everyone deals with some type of either mental problem or just obstacle in their life where they feel like they can't get past it.
Yeah.
But where my music comes in is to say that you can, It
Mhm.
doesn't matter how big the obstacle is. I mean, you can't give up no matter what the problem
The
is.
other important, sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No, you're okay.
The other important part of that is that by sharing, you make yourself approachable.
Yes.
And you're young, and a lot of young people are not as open as you're being. And so hopefully you're opening that avenue for people your age as well.
I'm trying because I kind of just started learning how to do it myself too.
Yep.
Like within the past few years. So I'm getting the hang of it.
Yep.
Trying to help others so they can understand and just learn themselves.
Yep.
Because there's so much to learn. Like especially for me, there's so much I still don't know about, including mental health, but I do know a lot because I've been through a lot.
Yep.
But I'm learning more and more every day, learning how to help other people too. So that's the best feeling is when other people not only hear my music but understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And that's honestly why I make music. It gives me the best feeling in the world, to be honest.
And they inspired too to do that.
Exactly.
I love that, man.
And
Yeah.
I just want to spread a message worldwide and have my music
Awesome.
heard worldwide. Do shows, people saying my name because they understand what I'm saying and understand what I'm going through.
Mhm.
That's why I do this. I'm gonna pave my own way. But I got the right guidance.
Right here.
Nock right
Yeah.
here. I haven't known him for the longest, but for how long I've known him, and he includes me in everything. Make sure he's there for me. Like honestly, he's been there for me more than people I've known in my whole life.
Yeah.
And I see it as it's not how long you've known someone, it's how long they've kept it honest with you
Yeah.
and how long they've known you.
Mhm.
And then he's helped me with a lot, and I've learned a lot from him already, and
Awesome.
I'm ready to keep learning.
How
Yeah.
has music, in a sense, helped you through the pandemic? So, like, one of the things I know we're talking about is mental health and coping with the pandemic.
Yes.
Like, how, in a sense, has music helped you? What have you found helpful as a 20-year-old in getting through this pandemic?
Well, with COVID, obviously everything's been limited.
Yeah.
I still try to keep updated with basketball. That got limited also. So before I found music, I was kind of just trapped inside. Couldn't even go play basketball
Mhm.
with, the people I wanted to play with, because I like playing full court 5 versus 5. I don't like, just playing by myself all the time. And I wasn't able to do that. So since I've always liked writing music, I finally thought to myself, I wrote one song and I was like, yo, that's actually really good. That's some of the best stuff you've ever made. Why not take it serious? And the feeling after making the song and recognizing my own talent,
Yeah.
it was like, you should take this serious.
Mhm.
And just through this whole pandemic and everything, when I'm trapped inside, I don't feel so just what's the right word?
Oh, pick the wrong one.
I'd say trapped in, I guess. Just I wouldn't feel so trapped in because music was right there to just help me express who I am, because I'm not good at talking about how I am, but that's where music comes in the picture. That's how I express who I am, because I'm not the best at talking to other people, but once I make the song, drop it, everyone hears it. That's my way of talking to people about what I'm going through and that. So it just it
So
made me feel more like me.
Yeah, you found your voice in the pandemic.
Exactly, and I've been using it
Oh,
for a
that's
good
cool.
cause. I've
Yeah.
been using it to my fullest potential, doing everything I can. Like I said, I write every single day. My notes is just filled with songs on songs because all I do is write. But it helped me cope with everything, and I'm thankful for music. Helped me, I felt like I shouldn't be here at one point, multiple points in my life.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I have every right to be here, and I have every right to go get what's mine. And not just for myself, but give it to other people too. Help my community out, just help the world out in a major way.
And I think that's I was gonna say too is that I met Jayden through Kareem and then also Nock. So both of those guys have been helping out the movement quite a bit in serving different ways. And so I think what we're trying to do through the movement is to find like people like him, so that way we give them a value and purpose.
Yes.
So that way they can thrive in their gift. Because I mean, when you look at Jayden, like you have this guy that has so much potential. It's kind of like Nock and everybody here. They have so much potential, but there's certain types of people that are stuck, and they don't have the right resources or people.
Right.
Yes.
And so to kind of encounter Jayden and his gift, I think it's really amazing. Like that there's like a diamond in the rough. People really didn't see that in him. And so I just want to say, man, you're doing good things, man.
I appreciate that so much.
And we'll continue to work with you and serve together. But
whatever you got planned, I'm with everything.
And just as a side comment, music is actually very therapeutic and very healing, and it opens up areas in our brains and gives us access to our brains in different ways. And there's great books written on the therapeutic benefits of music.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a way that we can all heal and have access
And
to our
connect
brain.
with each other. you
Right.
know.
And connect with it. It connects us culturally. It connects us as human beings. Like even like sound. Sound is the very first way that we attach from birth with other people.
Yes.
Sound.
Yeah.
Right? Sound and smell. Right? It's our mother's soothing tone. It's her heart beat. It's all that. And that is the very essence of soothing for us. It is the essence of healing.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you found that.
I'm extremely happy too, because
Yeah.
I've been at my lowest, and with the fact that I am still
Yeah.
young, I felt like I had to find my way.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
I finally realized you
Yeah.
should take this serious, it's been
Yeah.
all gas, full throttle from there. You know,
Yeah.
that haven't took my foot off the gas and don't put my
Right?
foot on the brakes.
And you'll
Yeah,
have
you know?
lows again, because that's like what happens with anxiety and
Exactly.
depression. You know, when it's chronic, like in your case, you're going to have it again. It's going to
Yeah.
come and it
It
ebbs
doesn't
and
go
it
away.
flows. It doesn't
You
go
just learn
away.
how to cope with it.
Right. Exactly like you're doing. And I'm so glad that you found this.
Even just listening
Yeah.
to music, I don't even necessarily have to be writing music at the time.
Right.
I'll just
Yeah.
lay in my bed with the lights off, listen to music, and just feel amazing. You know,
Yeah.
all that stress
Totally.
and anxiety will go away for
Yes.
that moment, and I'll feel like there was nothing
Yeah.
wrong in the first place. You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
and that's what it's about. You know, you gotta, once you find ways to cope with it, never let it go,
Right.
because like you said, it's not gonna go away.
No.
It's gonna come back at certain points and gonna hit you
Yes.
even when you're at your lowest.
Yep.
But once you find that way to cope with it, you can't be stopped.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what it does is it helps you not spiral as far down
Yes.
that hole,
Yes.
right? It's not that the hole goes away. It's that you learn how to cope with the hole
Yeah.
and maybe fill it up with some dirt, you know, in a sense. And you learn how to get yourself out of
Yeah.
yourself out faster. I don't know. I haven't figured out cement yet. Maybe you have some magical powers that I have not figured out. But that's what it is, right? We,
Yes.
you know, like in a sense that we learn how to, or we take people down with us and we let them lift us up out of it, right? That we
Yeah.
use the supports like you have done beautifully here with the Hope Project. I hope I'm saying it right. I'm sorry, I have
the
a really,
Project Hope movement.
the Project Hope
You got
movement.
it.
that you know that we have other people coming into our lives and
Yes.
helping us and getting in those holes with us, and not and lifting us up, or pulling us out, or giving us the ropes and the tools. And music is one of those that we can hand people and say, here, let these notes lift you out of that hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it does an amazing job.
Yeah, it
Music is
does.
music is a different feeling, especially when you can connect with others about it. No
Yeah.
better feeling to me, honestly.
Kareem, isn't it great to just be in the room in this conversation? I am soaking it in.
Me and him have been through a lot too, mentally.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you.
Yeah.
Oh, this is your son? He's
No
so
way.
proud of you. He was bragging about you
Yeah, he
earlier.
was. Yeah.
I didn't have a dad growing up, so he ever since he
That's
came
a
into
good-
my life when I was a little kid, he's just been there for me ever since, and I call him my dad. So me and him
Hey.
went through a lot,
Wow.
and we're still going. So
Dads come to us many different ways.
yes.
And
Doesn't-
that's the
blood
story
couldn't
of
make
your
us any
dad.
Closer.
Yeah,
Like that's how
Yeah.
I see it.
that is so wonderful.
That's cool. Come on up.
Come on up. Yay, Dad! Oh,
That's good. That's good. Yeah. You want to guys switch out and let's good transition time here. Powerful. I'm the host here and I just don't even know what to say, man. I mean, that was good. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, for sure.
Speaking on it is one thing, but for others to understand, that's even more major than speaking on your own problems.
Yeah.
Others understand you, that
Have that empathy.
lifts one up, you know?
Yeah.
it's our job to understand. That's what we work at as
Yeah.
therapists. That's our job.
Yeah. Should be everybody's job to understand, right? I mean, we should try to approach somebody
Right.
from that place, shouldn't
Right.
we? I mean, as people, we should try to communicate in the sense of not to respond, but to understand.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
even part of that, it's understanding, but it's sometimes you don't understand, and that's okay. But validating, I think, is even better as far
Validating
as
is understanding, though, isn't it?
it
It's
is.
like
But
saying,
you're because you can't necessarily always understand what people are saying or what they're talking about, but you can validate how they're feeling in the situation they've gone through. and being okay with not understanding all the time, but just saying, you know what, it really sounds like that was just a terrible time and that you're really struggling.
Yeah.
I can say that and have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But I can tell that they're struggling and having a hard time.
Right.
So
but
both
you're
are important.
coming from the perspective of trying to understand that
Absolutely.
rather
Yep.
than just to respond to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. I think what you're trying to maybe Andrea is saying it in this way is that you may not agree with the person.
Yes.
Right. But you
Absolutely.
But I think that's what but in the sense that you can still validate and listen
Right.
and begin in a sense with the end in mind.
Yes.
In a sense that in
Steve
the end of this
Covey.
conversation,
Good
Steve
stuff.
Covey, right?
Yes.
Steve Covey. Love the man.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
amazing.
After I found out that he has ADHD, I was like, that's my man. I have ADHD, right? Like, and my husband all the time is like, do this, do that. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. I want to have everything be important all at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's introduce yourself and
So, welcome everybody. My name is Kareem. I'm also part of the Project Home Movement. I've been working with Aikong for how long?
It's been like a year, 2 years.
More than that.
Well, other stuff too. But
Well, yeah,
mainly
mainly about that.
Yeah, 2 years.
I've been suffering from depression and anxiety since I was at the age of 7 years old. I got to the point where suicide was actually part of what I was dealing with at 7, and it's been a rough ride. It's for so long. I mean, especially I lived in the Caribbean, born and raised my entire life, and for about 20 years, and then I moved up here, and this is where I met Jin's mom, and I mean, things were kind of in and out. I mean, I went through situations with family. I've been raped. I've been molested. I've been taken advantage of for my entire life, and it just got to the point where sometimes I just figure out when is enough.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been doing music for a long time, and I haven't really gotten too much into it due to COVID and all that. And so I've decided to just take my music writing into poetry, and that's how I normally cope with dealing with my depression, especially when I have my highs. And when I'm mostly at my lows, I'm chill. But when I'm at my highs, I'm pretty much gone.
Yeah.
So I either try to work on going to the gym. I either try to find something to do around the house. Or sit down and just write poems, all just back to back to back to back. Yeah, I've been dealing with a lot for so many, and it's hard. It's hard. So today I've actually, I don't know if we have time for a second one, but I've brought 2 poems that I wrote. I know one of them I didn't want to read because it's one of the most difficult ones I wrote. I've actually contemplated on suicide that night.
Yeah.
And then something came over me and told me to just write it out. And it was difficult writing it, but it was just a conversation I was having with myself and my depression. But the one I really want to read is just basically just to help anybody, just to see if it will cope. So it goes: my mind is like an open book, like a river, it flows with the knowledge and stories. Full of love, full of hate, full of unnecessary worries. I feel like a caged animal trapped in this vicious cycle that never has an ending. The story is never straight because my mind keeps on bending. Fight, 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 this battle that keeps on waging. This maze is never the same because the obstacle keeps on changing. Somebody save me from this bubble of despair. If anyone can hear me, if anyone can hear my plea, that is, if anyone do care. I wear a weighted heart like a suit of armor to protect me from my sanity. I don't know how much more it could take lifting my my stressful gravity. I would give it away like spare change for someone else's rainy day. But when it's time to collect on that note, it's hard for them to pay. I pray to God to watch over my family and all my friends. Because even though you're not always there for me, I will always love you forever and end. Sometimes I wish I was back home sitting on the golden skirt of sand and gaze upon the ocean blue. Just to feel the wind in my face and the sun on my back and see if the oceans do. My soul will be at peace, my mind at peace, my body at peace, my life at peace. When then I will be healed of this cut of despair upon this golden fleece. My tears are always hidden from the world, so my weakness will never show. My cries are soundless, so the world will never know. I am just a fool, a jester in this kingdom of hell, cursed by these omens of emotions linked to unbreakable spell. I yearn for the day that I cannot have these down feelings anymore, as if I'm waiting for someone to knock and guide them through the door. Father, forgive me for my sins and the sinful life I lead, because you are the only truth and rock that I forever will need. You are the captain of my ship, and that can sail me through this troubled storm. I pray for eternal guidance and the guiding light to lead me home. This is my testimony, my confession, that's always next to none. My words of wisdom, for I am Matrio 01.
Nice job.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah, so when I wrote that, I was probably in a really bad place, and and I think it was just one time I just thought about home, and it just helps me remember when I was living back in the islands and how I used to sit on the beach every day, and then just everything just goes away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my stories. Do you guys have time for one more?
Let's maybe talk about a couple of questions that
Sure.
we have, if that's okay.
Sure.
Maybe we can slide into there. We have a couple of good therapists here, and I think that we want to balance that out a little bit.
Can I just say something real
Yeah,
quick?
please.
I just wanted to say that I know it's hard to, you were just really vulnerable and sharing that.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah.
You could tell just by you reading it that you had so much feeling, and there's just a lot of powerful emotions behind that. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, of course, that's no problem. I know a lot of people out there right now is just going through a lot right now, and just want everybody to understand that, you're not alone, and, you could always try to get up and find something to do, or find somebody to talk to. And the last podcast we had, I mentioned that, if you see somebody in the street talking to themselves, don't think that they're crazy. You don't know if that person's gone through a lot. Just walk up and just say, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
What's going on? Just have a conversation with that person and see what that person is dealing with, because you never know.
Yeah, that's one thing actually that I learned through being a therapist, that just understanding other people have stories and they have struggles, and could be like the example you're saying, or someone who's addicted to substances or something. Like, they don't want, we don't want to struggle. That's not our purpose in life. We don't want that. And so something has brought us to that point. And so being able to look at people and just know that everyone has struggles, everyone. And this is just an example. You're writing your poetry is just another example of ways that you can cope with it and get out your feelings and share that, just like music that we were just talking about. Writing is as powerful as listening and producing music as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
One thing I always stressed on everyone and let people know, the root of my depression is based on me being lonely. and loneliness
Yes.
has always been the
Yep.
one thing that I'm deadly afraid of.
Hmm.
But I'm trying right now. I'm trying my best to like find ways of like coping with being alone. But
Yes.
even though I don't want to be alone, I mean, and even though I do have friends around and people that I can talk to, sometimes you just want to be by yourself, but then half the times you don't want to be by yourself. So it's just kind of massive contradiction when it comes down to it. And so I always, and in situations like that, what I normally do is just try to find time for myself and kind of reflect on things that means more to me and what will help me find a path to, just deal with whatever I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Let's the loneliness thing. You hear and see that a lot right now, but I've seen and heard it in some of the circles. I go to a lot of schools and speak. It's been happening for years and years, and it seems like it's ramping up, and it has been for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is? Why are we're so connected with technology more so than ever before, but the you hear about loneliness more and more and more and more.
Do you want it, or do you want me to?
Is that?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Are there statistics to that, or is it?
Sure, let me check.
And,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
there's-
Like, is there a database that tracks some of those questions in your fields, or?
Well, there's research.
Sure.
So, I mean, I don't think there's a database specifically for loneliness, but there's loneliness assessments and scales for sure.
Sure.
And yeah, you can find research on it. I mean, especially now, I mean, since social media and technology has been such a big deal. And now you add the pandemic on top of that, where, I mean, last year at this time, you took teenagers out of their environment. I mean, teenagers are social beings. They want to be with their friends. And then when social media and technology, that kind of pulled them back a little bit. And then the pandemic just really kind of took that away with no, it just happened one day.
With social media and having the capabilities of being so much closer, but yet seeming so much further apart. Like, is that because it's not as genuine? Are people trying to, the Instagram photos, you hear about all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Is that part of it? Like, I remember for me growing up, of course, I didn't have it, but I mean, we would get in fights and we'd stand up, brush off and say, let's go, let's jump on the dirt bike. And you know what I mean? Like, it seems so different than with social media. It's just not as genuine.
Well, I think it's what it is it's the quality of the connection. In a sense, it's like, so let me figure out where I can start in all this. So yes, there is research.
Because I think you hit on loneliness. When you asked,
and I wanted to pull on that because you're absolutely right. Loneliness is basically, like how when you feel hungry, right? You eat, right? When you feel sleepy, you sleep. When you're thirsty, you drink, right? One of our basic biological needs, what we need to survive, is to connect with other people. Right. So loneliness is that signal to our brain to reach out, to check in with our people, to, in a sense, and quality people, and quality in the sense of not like, oh, I'm the best, greatest person in the whole wide world, but quality in the sense that
Allison, you are.
I know I am.
Mean, you are.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm still the best in this room. And that is a thing that I struggle with because I am slightly narcissistic in that way.
Sure.
In preparing for this, my first thought was, Derek asked me, what's your purpose in coming here today? And I'm like, I want to look like I'm the smartest. And everyone else here is like, I wanted to help other people. And the therapist's first thought was, I want to look smart. So there's a humbling moment. But anyway. So
that's perfect. I mean,
right?
That's honest. That's absolutely.
Right. I'm human.
Love that.
I'm human. Right. Therapists, we're not something special. All we've done is we've It's a paradox. It's a I think it's a social media paradox.
Yeah.
And it's the idea is that we're more you're not going to feel like you made a social connection. You really don't know much more about yourself or the other person, right? And so with social media, the way we get that sense of meaning and connection and purpose is that we are thinking of it as I'm going to someone's house. And what do I want to get out of this? Right? And what in a sense do I want to receive and what do I want to give?
So can I jump on that as
Yeah.
far as kids in Rochester are going back to school on Monday? Right? I work
How do you
with
feel about that?
I think it's a fantastic idea. Now that most teachers are vaccinated, because my husband's a teacher, and I think that that's important. But that's a whole different
Sure.
side note. And I'm not going to get in.
I mean, from a psychological place for
absolutely.
kids.
So this is my point, right? Is that high schoolers, middle schoolers have been at home for a year, and I have clients. Obviously, they're clients. They're struggling with anxiety. Most of them, some depression. And now they have to go back to school. And, some parents are like, you don't have to go back to school. And I get that. Like, I get there's anxiety or there's reasons why kids maybe shouldn't go back to school. But for this exact reason, the loneliness and being in your house. And I know that people have been going out and stuff, but you can't connect with your teacher. You can't connect with your classmates and get the social support and feel and smell and everything without being in the classroom.
Right.
I get the question all the time. Well, do you like doing telehealth or do you like doing in person? And I'm like, in person. Like, I mean, it's telehealth. You don't know what's going on in the environment because you can't see it. You can't see everything, and I think that's the same for school and trying to keep kids engaged with other people, even if they don't want to, right? There are people that I'd rather just sit at home. Yeah, I would too. But we're social people. We need to be engaged with each other. So
Yeah, I was gonna say too is that I think kind of hitting on what you said, Allison and Andrea, is that I think there's a very strong connection that we have, even at birth, because
Yes.
we're tied with our mom,
Yep.
and so I think that's where it originates from the need of connection,
Right. Well,
to be able to
yep.
taste or understand or be full because of what your mom ate, or if your mom drinks something bad, you can I see a lot of people do desire community, and so when I go to the homeless shelter, a lot of them would say, hey, can I connect with you? Do you have a phone number? Do you have an email address? Do you have some type of contact, so that way we can hang out?
yeah. You're supporting them and you make them feel like they belong.
Yeah.
And so the Project Hope movement is doing that, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's when you can tell that you're making a difference is exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and
set for you. And it can take this moment and make it something beautiful or helpful or in a sense different.
Right. I mean, the thing about it is that, one thing I've always really depend on when I get into those little situations is basically, I'll call my mom. I'll call my mom and say, hey, I'm dealing with this and what have not. I mean, the first time I've actually opened up to my mom about me being raped and molested and stuff, she was just like, why didn't you say something at a young? I was like, I was really young. I didn't know how to approach anyone. I mean, I've always felt like nobody even cared. I mean, my dad was around, but he was not around because my dad always was to himself, may so rest in peace. But when my dad finally came around, is when first time my dad ever told me he loved me was when I was probably 34, 35. And that basically just tells me that my dad was just like, hey, please forgive me because me and him, we never really had a good relationship. And so I've always used to rebel all the time. Like I said, my entire family on my mother's side was always against me, and I felt like nobody cared. And even if I go to somebody about my situation and what I was dealing with and the secrets that I've held for so long, is like, I don't know how they would look at me,
Right.
And my dad, and another thing too is, my family used to think that, I would fall into a situation of being gay. And because I guess when I was young, I used to show those kind of signs, but I practically was going through a phase, and I'm sorry if I'm saying it like that, but the thing about it is, I guess he was just like, I guess he kind of shoved himself away from me.
Yeah.
And because of that, I had to take it on myself to like raise myself and try to understand. And my mom taught me, it's a good thing my mom taught me wrong from right. And me learning the different things of being wrong and what's supposed to be right, and knowing the opposite of wrong and right. And so that kind of helped me understand how to become an adult at a very young age. And like I said, when my dad first time came out to tell me that, I was just like, and the thing about it is I was driving that day, and it was a massive situation between me and a family member, and I was driving my dad. When he told me that, my car almost went in a ditch.
I bet.
Because in the Caribbean, they don't. There's no hugging and there's no I love yous and there's no you fell, let me kiss you and make you better. It's always tough love.
Yeah.
And so so that's how I became strong enough to deal with things on my own. But sometimes there are the other things that I can't do on my own.
Right.
And especially when I hear like a friend got raped, or it kind of brings back situations like, how do I tell them? How do I help them to that situation? Because
so I really apologize to interrupt you, man. That's a really it's deep, it's big, but we're running out of time, unfortunately. And another wrap.
That's fine.
And we want to hear from our other guests. So if we maybe could switch out,
of course.
But thanks for being so brave.
Okay, that's no problem.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for being that honest. It's really tough to do, so appreciate that. Helps a lot of people.
Just want to tell everybody out there, if you ever really, really go into a situation, don't be afraid to talk to somebody. Don't be afraid to find something to do and get yourself out of that rut.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
You want to come up and introduce yourself or switch out here? I think there's a lot of healing going on out in the world today with these stories. So I think that's really good. I really appreciate it for sure. Do we still have some rappers here?
Yeah, they're still there.
All right.
Yeah, we should end
Yeah,
on
okay.
that, huh?
Well, we're gonna end on that in a little bit, but go ahead, introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Lysandra. I go by Lisa. It's a little easier for people to be able to say that. I was asked to do this because I have been through struggles of my own, like everybody, starting since I was young. Aikong and I met doing the Project Hope movement. I had done a little work with him for a little bit with like the Rochester Police Department and things like that. So, and I'm excited to get back into it, help out as much as I can. But so basically, my story starts about when I was 14 years old. I got into drugs. I became addicted to meth at the age of 14. I'm not really sure, I can't really put a placement on what made me turn to that. The only thing that I know is what made me get out of it. So I was addicted to meth, and I was living in hotels. I was living out of suitcases. I was almost murdered. I was almost raped. I've had to go back and forth because I was a witness after the fact and stuff that I've had to testify in. And I don't, it's weird to look at myself now and realize that I went from that to who I am now and who I have been. I've been sober for 16 years now.
Wow.
Thank you. Not to say that sometimes I don't think about it. It even comes back in my dreams and I can smell it. And it's so
Totally.
weird to me.
Yep.
But I never want to go back there, and so for me to be able to get away from that, I believe that using drugs was a way just to fit in. Like, we all went through that thing where we talked about belonging and wanting to feel an attachment. And I feel like the people that I was hanging out with at the time, that's what they were doing. And so I wanted to feel like I belonged. And then I ended up addicted. So when I was 19, my mom and my sister finally made me take a bus and get out of where I was living. It took me about 1.5 years to become completely sober. I slept a lot. And I remember I fought with my mother a lot. My mother is a saint for putting up with me. My father.
Shout out to Mama.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Thanks. She'll like that. But yeah, my father wasn't really around when I was younger, but we're rebuilding our connection. So that's really nice. I think a lot of the, they say that daddy issues, daddy issues are a thing. Yeah. They're a real thing. You try to find that love and connection in your relationships and in other people, and you accept things that, if you had grown up with that type of love that you wouldn't accept before. So I kind of went, I went and got sober, and then I moved here, and I've been here ever since. I'm in college now. I'm going for my dental hygiene degree. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to stop there either. I want to learn more about everything. I think I'm going to be always a college student. Even though I get my degree, I want to study so much more. I want to learn therapy. I want to learn psychology. I want to learn software engineering. I want to learn how to code. There's so many things that, and just being in America, that you have the opportunity to do. So, my message to people really is, no matter what you've been through, what has happened to you, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And I did have a lot of support from my family, like my sister, my brother, my mom, that got me out of the situation I was. And I literally had to move states. I moved 1,000 miles away from everybody that I was trying to be like and belong with. and get new people, and that's always possible. And I know a lot of them back home now are a lot better as well, so I'm grateful for that too. But yeah, you know, there's always a way out of things. There's always somebody that you can talk to. There's always somebody, so you're never alone. And I just want to say, like, when I was listening to Kareem and Jayden,
Yeah.
it's just funny that, you know, you went through what you're going through, he's going through what he's going through, and you two are connected, you know, and that's God right there.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's that higher power that was like, you know what, this young man, Jayden's going to need this man, Kareem, and they're going to help each other. They're going to get together. They're going to understand each other. They're going to love each other, you know, and I think that's powerful. And I think that's, you know, the one thing that I know I can rely on is God. And that's who helps the most, for sure. You know, and like, just, I think everybody here meeting, that's a higher power. Aikong and I meeting, that's a higher power. You doing this podcast, that's a higher power. You know, there's always forces that are working together. And I just feel like that's really what it's all about, you know, is helping each other, realizing that there's more to everything but yourself, but you always, there is yourself too. And you got to love yourself. And, you know, and if you love yourself, then everybody around you can love you too. And you realize how much people love you. Because I think, like, when you don't love yourself, you think nobody loves me. Nobody can love me.
Lisa, what was the hardest part of you to learn to love? What's been the hardest part so far?
I think the hardest part of learning to love is that's tough.
Yeah, therapists don't ask easy questions.
Thanks a lot.
Well, no, but I heard this beautiful journey and you thanking all these people in your life, but I didn't hear you. You know, like, I didn't hear you. So that's where that question came from, is like recognizing and honor and taking pride in the work that you've done. And I was just wondering, like, what was like the hardest part for you to learn to love about yourself?
So I think actually I'm still in that process.
Yeah.
I think I could have said, yeah, I love myself, but that would be lying.
Oh,
Because I struggle with loving myself. I'm still accepting myself for who I am. I'm still figuring out who I am. It's taken, you know, years, heartache, everything. And I'm still, I mean, there's just parts of me that I still am working with, trying to get over.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna
and
touch upon
so-
too what Lysandra said. So, like, I think a lot of it is just like seeing value, you know, in yourself. And in the Project Hope movement, we try to like push that, you know, out a lot with our volunteers. It's not the idea that you're saying like just serving food, you know, to homeless, or like, you know, appreciating cops like by providing like free coffee, but it's actually that you're also telling them, hey, you know, we value you, you know, you're very valuable. And I think a lot of that stuff, the more we do it, it seems like there's something in people that they recognize that there's so much more potential than just the certain circumstance they're dealing with. And so just like some of this Lysandra, I think, you know, it's been encouraging, like, to just even show her, you know, her value through just like serving together, you know, like the homeless or the, you know, cops. So we did like an appreciation for our leaders. And so just being there and just saying, hey guys, we value you. And I think that set example, I think she's learning herself to see value in herself. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it does make you feel good to, you know, and know that I was put here for something. And I'm glad that, you know, every day you can do something, if not for yourself, then for others, or both.
Yeah, both.
You know,
That's
sometimes you take the day to yourself, you have a bubble bath, and you're like lighting a candle.
Take a bubble bath often.
Man does a lot. Yeah.
So do I. I light a candle, you know, I'm ready.
The cotton candy bubbles.
Yeah, the cotton candy bubbles and the cotton candy candles. Right?
With surprise inside. So there's
how did you know?
I have children.
See, I love it.
If I can just quick jump in before we leave this area, and it's something just to remind everyone. I think everything that we share in common here is that we're all born into this world with 100% inherent self-worth. We are worthy just for being born, and that never changes.
Right.
And I think what we've heard in this room is people who have gotten I can't swear, so I'll say stuff, dirt, other people's junk or life experiences or other people's hurts, throwing on that golden ball of worth that we have, right? And sometimes like what we need is other people in our lives to help us, take that to hand us the rag to wash that off.
Right.
Yeah.
So that we can see it. Like what you're saying is that you had to be like, here, look. Like I can look at you and just see how valuable you are, right?
Right.
And how valuable each of us are in this room, right? But that's why we need other people. Sometimes we can't see it
Right.
ourselves
Exactly.
because of our life experiences, things that we've been handed genetically, like anxiety, depression, health concerns. We can't see it. And that's sorry, I'm going to tear up because I'm so passionate about it. Is that I wish that I could just shove that into the heart of every human being is you are so damn worth it.
Amen.
Yeah, right on.
Amen.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's so close to my heart.
No, it's okay. You're gonna make me tear up. Holy
Yeah.
cow. I know. I was tearing up
Wait
at
till I get
everything.
to share my story. I'm going to wrap up because I don't think most of you know my story.
Yeah.
But
Well, you have a world of hurt in your life too.
yeah,
Yeah,
do.
I read
know
it.
A lot of people that
Yeah.
follow me know, but I don't know if anybody in the room knows. I know Aikong
Yep.
knows.
I
but-
think it's on your web.
yeah,
I
did you?
haven't read
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I got
yeah.
it, yeah.
But let's. Is it Nock that's coming in next? Yeah, come on in, man. Let's get some music on and which ones I want to make sure that bottom one there. This one right here.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, all right.
How we
So
doing?
before my coffee runs out, we gotta get things right.
I'm at the end of my Ritalin in about 5 minutes.
Okay, all right. I wanted to be wrapped up by 4:30. That's not going to happen. Obviously, we started a little bit late and stuff.
No.
But are you, Nock? Are you ready?
Yeah, I mean, we gonna get right into it, or
Let's get it.
well, all right. Well, I just wanted to end it on a positive note. This is a song that I just recorded not too long ago. It's called "Get Up." All right. Now I don't know what you've been told, but I've been on my grind. You can't stop my shine, no, you can't stop my shine. If you wanna hate on me, then you gon' have to wait in line. Cause right now you on my time, yeah, that's right, you on my time. Hey, cause my time is money, I can't waste a dime of it. There's something to feel, cause you know it's real, every line of it. Who got time to chill when you got some kids, you know that's relying on you. I know it get hard when life gets you down, just put a big smile on there. Get up, get up, get up and get back to it, yeah, get up. Get up and get back to it. Look, it ain't none, you can do it. Get up and get back to it. It ain't none, you can do it. Get up and get back to it. Yeah, get up and get back to it. Yeah, get up and get back to it, y'all. It ain't none, you can do it. Get up and get back to it. Yeah, it ain't none, you can do it. Get up and get back to it. Look. When they say you be doing the most, don't pay them no mind. Just tell them be quiet and sit down like you're doing a toast. Don't be scared if you fall, and if you so happen to choke, just clear out your throat. See, not trying this for you, and I'm here to tell you right now that I think that you're dope, and I know that you got what it takes to get yourself out of that funk. If you need a little help, then I got you. I could give you a push if you want. Like, think about all of them people that wish they could be in your shoes with something to lose. You got something to prove, but nothing to me though. This is a message to all of my people. Hey, get up and get back to it, y'all. Get up and get back to it. It ain't none, you can do it. Get up and get back to it. Yeah, it ain't none, you can do it. Get up and get back to it. Get up and get back to it, y'all. Yeah, so that's it. You know, just hoping that y'all, you know, like I said, just wanted to end it on a positive note. You know, I always try to find a positive in every negative situation. That's just my personality. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody that, you know, that's here today and that shared their stories. And yeah, man, it's inspiring to see people be so honest and open. And yeah, I don't want to drag it out. I know we're running out of time, but you know, this is important to me too, because I know it's a lot of people that's struggling out here. I try to, like I said, I try my best. Like you said, everybody going through it, but I try my best to stay focused on just being positive at all times and try to spread that message as well. So Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, the thing that I want to kind of say too, and the therapist to weigh in on real quick. Everybody that is here today has gone through something. Everybody that we run into goes through something, right? I think the big difference is the message that I've gotten out of this today is that nobody's made excuses for those things, right? Those circumstances. We've faced them. We've done what we needed to do to get through them and just to keep moving and then now contribute. And I think that's the theme that I got out of this today was that we all have gone through crap. We've all had massive struggles. They're some of them are similar, but they're different. Not that they're unequal to what each other faces, but the one thing is that everybody has really not made an excuse for what they've gone through and what they've happened. Is that what have you seen? Have you seen that theme too?
Well, I think what I hear that you're saying is the fact that what I've heard in this room is everyone has taken their stories, their life experiences, their stories of hurt, and they've used them in a sense to transform them into stories of empowerment. And now they're taking what I've heard in each and every one of you is you're taking your story that you've empowered yourself with, and now you're using it to empower others.
Well, I agree with that. You know, I don't want to make it look like I'm plugging myself right now.
Oh, please plug away.
But,
Plug away.
but no,
Flourish counseling.
Yeah.
Flourish counseling.
but no, though, over this last year, COVID time and stuff, I wind up coming up with a clothing line. This is it right here. It's called Hard Knock Life, and H&L Hard Knock Life. But and it's actually the knock. I knocked the K off, because my name is spelled Nock. But anyway, so I took the K off of knock, and so it's H&L. But I started it up, especially because of course everybody was going through a hard knock life at that time, still is. But it's the meaning of it is when you wear it, I want you to feel like you celebrating, making it through the conditions that we've all been through.
Yeah.
So that's what I just wanted to say. And it.
Yeah. No, you can. You can. On Facebook, it's Hard Knock Life Apparel. Okay. So, yeah, you can message me personally. I do drop offs. You can come pick it up. I don't have shipping and all that stuff, but I mean, I can ship it myself. I have shipped it myself. But anyway, yeah, like I said, it's something that's really empowering when you wear it. And that's a few items of it right there. That's the H&L, and nice.
But I also have another logo where it's kind of spelled out. With the Hard Knock Life. So
I just want to call out Nock of what he's done. He's done amazing things with the rap culture in Rochester, just because I mean he's came up from a tough life in the past and gone through a lot of struggles that a lot of young adults have came up with, and then got into the rap game, and now he's being a mentor to a lot of young adults, and I just want to commend Nock for that.
Thank you,
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just
because he's a great leader and mentor in our
man.
community, and I just want to just say, man, keep it up, bro.
Thanks, man. I really do appreciate that, man.
I mean, all the faces here too, that I'm sure we all have encountered. We either have been a mentor or a mentee in a certain way.
Yes.
And I just want to encourage people out there, definitely, take care of your community as well. If you see someone struggling, be a mentor. If you're struggling, be a mentee. Find a mentee. So it's I think that we can do a lot by working together and by encouraging each other, and just
where can we learn more about you and your movement?
So the Project Hope movement is on Facebook. It's just the Project Hope movement. You'll see a lot of different posts. We've done events. We done serving events with Dorothy Day House, the Rochester Warming Center, and a bunch of other places. But yeah, again, it's called the Project Hope movement on Facebook.
Excellent. Allison, you want to shout out?
A shout out?
Shout out.
What you do?
Oh,
your
what
place?
I do? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a therapist at Flourish Counseling.
And where can we find you?
Oh, where can you find us?
Yeah.
We're on social media. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook, and we're on the web. Yeah.
The World
Just
Wide
Google it.
Web.
Google it. Just Google it. Yeah,
Google
just
it.
Google it. Right. Google.
And Andrea,
Yeah. Can I say one thing?
you say
Okay.
10
Do it.
things.
Do it.
10 things.
20,
Okay.
30.
So I just wanted, I will be short. Look at
No,
you,
it's
you're
all
watching.
it's all right.
I just wanted to go off because everyone in this room, like we're at a point where we're sharing and it's inspiring. It's good. It's good to get to that point. But I will say that I'm sure all of us, I know myself, so I will speak for myself, where I was at a place in life where I heard people's stories and I was like, you're freaking kidding me. Like, shut up. Like that.
Yep.
I'm never going to feel that way. I'm not going to ever feel better than this because we feel like we're the only one. And so for quite a while, actually, in my 20s, that's what I was thinking. Like, this is just the way life is going to be. And when you're feeling that way, you're suicidal most of the time. You're just like have this thought in the back of your mind. So I just want to encourage if you are like listening to this and being like, well, yeah, that'd be great, but I don't believe that can happen for me. Reach out to someone. And sometimes it's like I got into counseling because I had a friend that actually drove me to Mayo Clinic because I wasn't going to go. And she's like, okay, well, I'll take you, and I was 20 something. And so if you have that friend, just let them know. And it's a lot easier for someone else to come alongside you. So if I just wanted to say that because I know that a lot of people are just stuck and it's really hard to be vulnerable like a lot of us have been today. So that's all I wanted to say.
And everybody, I just want to say too, everybody here adds their talent in their own way, right? You don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to do clotheslines. You don't have to, whatever. You get the point, right? Like just contribute in what you can. That literally might be to open the door for the next year for somebody at the gas station, right? That literally might be that simple, and then just work your way up. But use your talent. Don't think that you have to do it some way that somebody else is doing it. So we each have them. We each have talents. I can ride a unicycle.
I can't.
I can.
So you
I'm I'm a mime.
There you
I'm
go.
a fully trained mime.
Let me see.
What?
That's good. That's good.
Allison.
Want to see me walk upstairs?
Yeah.
Allison got gifts.
Walk downstairs. That's the trick.
I can do both.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Andrea, sorry, we we went off a little bit on that one. But,
I was done.
okay. We're trying to have some fun too. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm okay with that.
I just wanted to laugh at the end of it so that we were getting heavy again.
Yeah, sorry. I know. I'm sorry.
No,
brought
that's
us back.
okay. That's okay. So where can we find you though?
Oh,
Do we want to
it's
find
fine.
you?
You can.
Do we
She's
want to
off the
find
grid.
you?
So
That's maybe the question.
if you want to, Peaks of Hope Counseling.
Okay.
.com.
Something?
Yes, you can just Google it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Perfect.
She don't
Say-
wanna be
say it
found.
again.
Peaks, like mountain peaks.
Yeah.
Not like peekaboo, but mountains. Of counseling, Peaks of Counseling.
Perfect. Excellent.
.com.
Hope.
Hope. Peaks
of Hope.
Counseling.
Peaks of Hope.
Did I forget
Yeah.
hope?
You forgot
Right.
hope. You forgot
Peaks
hope.
of
That's like
hope.
don't drop the hope.
Don't drop the hope.
Actually, the
If we
most
can't hold
important.
the hope, what are we supposed to be doing as therapists?
Exactly.
I don't know.
I love it. Yeah. Sorry to put you on the spot like that.
That's fine.
You drop the hope, we
kinda
won't
what I
have a
do.
project. What are we
That's
doing?
right.
Right. Yeah. Hey.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I just wanted everybody to know that. I just want everybody to know to look out very soon. We are planning to do a poetry, a hip hop. A poetry slam for people with mental health very soon. So. We'll keep you posted. I'll have Aikong send out some information and so forth, but just keep it up here. We're doing a poetry slam for people who, and if you know you can do some poetry and you know you want to spread your word to other people, just start writing and getting your stuff get together, and we'll let you know when everything comes out.
Do you get graded on your poetry?
And that's
You get graded on your poetry?
Project Hope.
No, so the poetry slam that we were talking about is we really want to allow, you know, people like Kareem to express, you know, their struggles in an outlet where it's safe, where it's very artistic. So I think it'd be a good opportunity for a lot of young adults or youth that want to, you know, learn more about like, you know, like poetry,
Spoken
or rap.
word, and
Yeah.
all that
So
good stuff.
there's going to be like a lot of stuff that we're planning for coming up. And I mean, we would love to have, you know, therapists there too, just to kind of maybe like speak and talk about certain things. And like,
So, hey, I'm going to wrap
There you
this up, people. So the Project Hope, that's the best place to find you guys.
the Project
Yes.
Hope movement. Yep, on
Project
Facebook.
Hope Movement on
Yep.
Facebook.
Yep.
All right, excellent. So, hey, thanks for joining us, everybody, live. We're going to also repost this. I know that our internet backup had to kick in a couple of times. So we will repost this. We're going to do some post-production on it in a day or two, and it'll be flawless because we record this on the cameras too. Thanks for joining us. We will see you all next time.
Hey.
Hey, good job,
All
guys.
right. All right. All right.